Hello and welcome to another episode of Divina's Recipes for Life. In this one, we are preparing a dish called Dal Dhokli. Now, Dal Dhokli is something really famous from Gujarat and Maharashtra. In this episode, we'll be doing the Gujarati version. And that's the famous one that you would get in this place in Mumbai known as Swati. And I became a big fan since then. So I decided I'd recreate this dish at home, and that's what we're looking at in today's episode. So let's see what Dal Dhokli really is. It's this whole wheat like flatbread, and you break it up into these little pieces and you add them into a sweet and spicy lentil stew. Now it's a very flavorful stew. It's very similar to something like minestrone soup, but with a lot more spice. It's savoury, it's sweet, it's tangy, and it has a lot of like crunch and depth. So let's see how to make it. So the first step is to prepare a lentil base. And how we're going to do that is we're going to add a quarter cup of pigeon peas or tur dal, which has been soaked for 30 minutes. You don't need a very long time for that one. Next, you're going to add in a quarter teaspoon of ground turmeric, that's haldi. Add some salt to taste. A quarter teaspoon of Kashmiri red chili powder, that's the relatively non-spicy one. And next you're going to go in with the puree of 1 tomato. See how I've crushed it nicely. Then you're going to go in with some water, 1.5 cups of water. This one I'm just showing as about a half cup. Now pressure cook your dal for about 8 to 10 whistles until it's soft and mushy. This should take you about 20 to 30 minutes. If it looks thick, don't worry, we can always add water later. But first let's prepare the rest of the recipe. Now we're going to prepare the dough for the dhokli, and what we will do is take half a cup or around 125 grams of whole wheat flour or atta. To that we'll be adding about 1 tablespoon or 15 grams of chickpea flour or besan, half a teaspoon of carom seeds or ajwain, a pinch of red chili powder. Again, I used Kashmiri red chili powder for this one, relatively non-spicy. Next, a pinch of ground turmeric or haldi, and then salt to taste. Add in about 1 tablespoon of oil, and we're going to rub that into the dough. The mixture should now resemble sand. Now you'll gradually add in your water, and you will knead this into a stiff dough. Now I generally use hot water to make my rotis, but this one you can use regular water because you will need a stiff dough. So keep doing that until you get something like this. This should take you about 10 minutes. See, this is the correct consistency. It's a little smooth, but it's still hard, not very soft like chapati dough. You're going to now coat that with oil and then cover that with a damp cloth. Let that dough rest for 20 to 30 minutes. Now we can get on to step 3, which is to blend our lentils. See over here, I want a nice fine puree like a soup, not exactly anything thick like you've seen in my previous videos. Then you're going to add the mixture back to the pressure cooker and add 2 to 3 more cups of water. And you may now see some white scum floating up on top, and just remember to remove that one. Now you're going to keep the dal on a simmer, not such a high flame, to let the flavors infuse, because now we are going to be preparing our tempering or our tadka. What we're going to do is heat our oil, 2 tablespoons of oil, and add about 1 tablespoon or 15 grams of peanuts, skin on. We're going to fry this until fragrant or almost toasted. Now in the same pan, you're going to add in about 1 stick of cinnamon, that's dalchini, 3 cloves or long, and about 4 to 5 pieces of fenugreek seeds or methi dana or hurbo as we call it in Sindhi. Then you're going to go in with some mustard seeds, which are rye or in Sindhi. Next, you're going to add in about half a teaspoon of cumin seeds or jeera, 1 to 2 stalks curry leaves or curry patta, 1 to 2 tablespoons chopped green chili, and 1 to 2 tablespoons of chopped ginger. Remember to stir everything until it's nice and golden brown and fragrant. Now you're going to get on to rolling out your dhokli. It's probably been rested for now. Now you're going to roll the dough into a ball much like a chapati. You're going to flatten this into a disc and try to roll it out nice and even, but don't apply dry flour as you would do for chapati. oil your surface instead and roll out the dough nice and thin. Just keep on rolling it until it becomes something like this. Now again, do not worry too much about the shape. You just want it nice and thin so that it cooks in your stew. Once you're happy with the thickness, you can cut your dhokli. I decided to do mine in little diamond shapes. You can just do yours in squares or triangles if you like. Now you are ready to add the final touches. You're going to add the tempering to your dal mixture. Add some salt to taste if you like. And then stir everything well. Next, more final touches, a tablespoon of tamarind. And then we're going to add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of boiling water to make a nice pulp. You're going to strain that liquid into your dal and then add in about 1 tablespoon of jaggery or gur in Hindi. Otherwise, you can use palm sugar, which is otherwise known as gula melaka in Indonesian. Now stir your dal and bring it right to a roaring boil. Once it comes to a boil, you're going to add in the cut pieces of your dhokli and then your fried peanuts that we prepared earlier. And now you're going to serve your dal dhokli into a bowl. I just poured it into the serving dish of my choice, and then my finishing touches would be to top with a little bit of oil. Normally people would use ghee, but I wanted to keep this one vegan. Add some chopped coriander leaves as well for garnish, and there you have it. Your dal dhokli is done. You can either serve it with papad or just eat it on its own. Papad is this like crispy papadum kind of thing. You should try it, but it's spicier than papadum. Either way, you will really enjoy this dish. I suggest you try it and let me know how it goes.